Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another update on our beehive. Before we begin, I have to admit to cheating a little. 2 days ago, we opened up the hive and moved some frames around. We moved the outermost frame on the north side of the hive to the third position, and moved the outermost southern frame to the second position. We did this as an experiment to see if we could get the bees to build up the former outside frames more, in order to make sure they utilize as much of the hive space as possible. I just hope our method works and results in healthy bees and delicious honey. The entrance. Okay, here we are at the hive for another inspection. Yeah, that is completely dry, just covered in ants.
I feel like the bees should kill those ants.
Yeah, we can't really get to them.
All right, got the hive open. I don't see anything unusual at the top. The feeder was empty, which is a good sign. We'll start off as usual looking at the outermost frame here. Now this is the one we swapped for the third position frame. So it should have, it's got lots of bees on the inside part. Some pollen. They're actually still drying out the comb, it looks like, on the outside. And there's bees on the frame again, which is one of the signs I'm looking for. On the inside, pretty well drawn out, maybe halfway. Lots of nectar turning into honey, and a whole lot of pollen. The pollen patty, I'm just noticing, is completely gone. So they finally ate their way through that thing. Looking at the next frame, this one is pretty heavy, honestly. So we've got capped brood, we've got some larvae. No capped honey, but some nectar again that's turning into honey. Some eggs. So the queen might be close. Sorry, dead bee. Let's take a look on the front side. A whole bunch of honey, whole bunch of nectar. Quite a bit of capped brood. Yeah. This is what, the second from the outside, and it's
how high they've drawn up the, the honey compared to the brood or the pollen.
all right. Anyone see the queen? I don't.
No.
I haven't even looked on that one that much.
Here's a bee with a bunch of pollen on her legs. She's looking for a place to drop it off.
If I see that bee.
All right, queen, we miss you. No. All right. I'm pretty happy with that frame. There's a drone that wants to get squished. Oh, this one is super light. So this is the one that was on the outside.
So this one was completely nothing going on last time, right?
Exactly.
We swapped it for the inside. So now they're...
So now it's being drawn out nicely so far. There's eggs on it. There's pollen. Not really any nectar. More eggs on the inside. A drone cell that's not capped all the way. A few drone cells, that's interesting. Is the queen around here? Someone just laid some eggs. I don't see her. Last chance. I don't see her. Cool. So that is turning into a nice frame.
Yeah. That definitely helped.
Yeah. All right. This one's fairly heavy. Looks like a bunch of brood may have emerged in the past week or so. Still some capped brood. There are eggs. Hard to tell, actually. Yeah, no, there's some baby larvae at least in the ones that that appear to have emerged. Quick check for the queen. Not seeing her. All right, backside's looking good as well. Lots of honey, quite a bit of pollen. Is it just me, or is there less pollen than there has been?
I don't know.
Maybe they've eaten through the pollen patty and now they're dipping into their stores.
That one frame had a lot of pollen.
Yeah. All right. Some pollen on the top of this frame. Ooh, lots of capped brood, some drone cells. Quite a bit of capped honey.
You can tell the capped brood frames have less bees on them. They have less to do, I guess.
Yeah, they don't have to be fed. They just make sure the temperature's right and let them grow.
A couple of bubbly drone cells.
I saw the bee with pollen on its web, like over there.
Oh yeah, nice. Nope. Okay. Just more good stuff on the inside. Still not seeing the queen, but lots of capped brood that should be emerging in the next week or so. Lots of honey. The bee coming through a tunnel from the other side. Oop, two of them.
That bee was
Pretty
just staring into my soul.
Staring into your
It
soul,
was
huh?
just staring at me.
All right. Past the halfway point now. This one's fairly light, so probably has some emerged workers. This side's got a bunch of pretty fat larvae. Some capped brood. Some
Haven't seen her
honey.
yet.
No, haven't seen the queen. We might have missed her, or maybe she's in the box somewhere. Because there were lots of eggs on that, towards that side of the hive. No, it's just larvae. She's obviously been through here within the past week.
Oh, wow. These are all ready to get new eggs.
Cool.
I like the overall humming of the hive sounds louder. Okay, the queen is on this frame, but I'm not going to say
Ooh,
where.
I found her.
Can you find her, Des?
Carrie found her first. Des, when you find her, all right, gently point at her. Yep, there she is.
Good job. I need to get zoomed in on her.
Neat. All right, on the back of this frame, nothing special, just lots of brood, bit of honey, not really any pollen. Lots of bees.
Another bee that was just staring
You can
at
kind
me.
of see the size difference. This
More
one
bees
is really
staring
little.
at me.
So like compare that bee with this drone right here.
Yeah.
He's a big boy.
A lot of activity. They're about as full as they can be on this frame.
Go away, ants. You know I can see you, right?
All right, Queenie, where are you?
Where'd she go?
I think the ant wants to kill the
Oh,
bees.
Oh, there she is. All right, so she's up here. Pretty safe. We'll put her back in.
Stop, please. Stop staring into my soul.
Obviously, we want to be as careful as we can not to squish her, or any bee, but especially her.
Sometimes they just get squished
All
by
right.
something else.
So I believe this is
Is this our other empty frame?
the one that was on the outside, so you can see they're drawing it out pretty well. There's some nectar on here. There's a big boy drone right there. Other than just their size, if you look at their eyes, it's another easy way of telling what a drone from a worker. The drone's eyes basically are huge and they touch in the middle. The workers are quite a bit smaller and kind of have a little bit of a gap between them. Bees are starting to fly off the comb and launch themselves at my face.
Want me to do a little
Means
smoke?
it's probably time for some smoke. I'll do it from this side.
Yeah, the wind is.
I'm looking behind me.
Making sure to get all that smoke in Carrie and Dez's face.
Yeah. What are we looking at?
That one.
Did we look at both sides?
Yep. Not much to see.
Whoa.
All right, this one, you can see they've drawn out the frame, the
Oh, that's
honey
pretty.
cells pretty far.
I wonder if they're running out of room to put honey.
Probably they're
Oh,
running
there's a
out
lot
of room.
There's a lot of the girls with pollen.
Interesting.
They
What's
are
all
busy
that
on this
stuff on
frame.
the side?
Yeah. Still lots of room to draw this side out. Looks like they're doing it though, slowly. If we turn this around, no, I don't want to mess with their brood. All right, the last.
I can't see anything.
Nothing.
Do we want to put this one?
I'm gonna move this one to this side.
Okay. What are they doing on the bottom?
Just girls having fun. Whatever that means. Well, anything else you want to see in the hive?
Nope.
Me neither. Overall, I'm pretty happy with what we're seeing though. I think our experiment with moving the frames around last time was effective. That's why I moved this one here.
And go away because you're right there.
Furthermore, based on what we're seeing, it sure looks to me like the bees are wishing they had a little bit more space.
It's a good thing we got that.
So what do you say we give it to them?
Okay.
That
But first, I need you to hit that like button
I'm subscribed.
and subscribe and comment.
and make sure you subscribe to the channel. So in order to give them more space, what we have is another brood box that we're just going to put on top of this one. It's got completely empty cells with a plasticell in the middle, just like this one had. Just in case I never showed you what that looks like. I mean, you can kind of infer from what you've seen in the videos, but this is a black plasticell frame. It's plastic with honeycomb shapes on it, and then they dip the plastic in a little bit of beeswax so it smells and feels like beeswax to them to encourage them to draw it out. So all we're going to do is put this box on top of the old box.
Is there a hole in the bottom?
Yeah, the bottom is just like the top kind of empty.
So we technically just upgraded our beehive.
Yep.
Also, if we haven't actually talked about it, these frames are pretty cool in many ways, but one way that's nice is they've got spacers on the side that'll automatically space them in the exact right spacing that the bees prefer. Bee space is what they call it.
They're already getting up here.
You can see the sides here kind of go together. If they're touching like that, then that's perfect bee space.
Yeah, they don't like space.
They like a little bit of space. Yeah, but not, if you give them too much space, that's when they start making burr comb. All right, looking good.